Welcome to Becoming a Cook. I'm Charlie Wetzel. Today I want to teach you something really simple and straightforward, just how to boil broccoli. So this broccoli's already been prepared. It's been cut into spears. I did that in another video, so hop over to the prepping broccoli video for that if you want to see it. All I'm going to do is put these in salted boiling water. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and if you follow the directions I give you, you'll have perfect broccoli every single time. There are a lot of great ways to cook broccoli. You sometimes hear people say, oh, I ate steamed broccoli, especially if they're trying to eat healthy or eat on a diet or something like that. You don't ever want to steam broccoli. You never, ever want to steam broccoli. If you steam broccoli, you're going to get, this is going to turn from a wonderful, beautiful, bright green and crisp to something that just looks awful, like olive drab, like it was enlisted into the army. It's going to be terrible. Always in boiling water, always uncovered, never steamed. Okay, so this water needs to be salted. And if you ever wonder how much salt to put when you're boiling vegetables, it needs to have at least as much salt as, say, a soup would have, where you go, oh, that's the right amount of salt, or a little bit more, up to maybe where you say, oh, it's about as salty as the ocean. So I put some salt in here. It's still not salty enough. I haven't cooked on the line in 30 years, but I still have my chef hands. So I don't recommend that if you're not used to a lot of heat. I've got this at a rolling boil, and now I'm just going to put the broccoli in. And you notice I pour away from me so I don't get spattered. And I just want to make sure this is in the water. Now you never, ever cover a green vegetable when you're boiling it because it turns a horrible color. So you can put the lid on the pot beforehand to get it up to a boil, but not afterwards. As soon as this comes back to a rapid boil, I turn it off and it's done. I can let it sit in the water for a couple of minutes. If I were doing this ahead of time, the second it comes to a boil and I turn it off, I would take it out and I would put it in an ice water bath to stop the cooking cold. And then I could actually drop it back into boiling water again to finish it and get it hot. For what I'm doing now, though, I just wanted to get it come back up to this boil, and then it's ready to serve. I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I had already been cooking in the restaurant business before I learned this lesson. If you have a vegetable that grows above the ground, you drop it into water that's already boiling. If you have something that grows below the ground, like a tuber, like a sweet potato or a potato or a carrot, you put it in cold water, salted always, and you bring it to a boil. Below the ground, bring it to a boil. Above the ground, drop it in a boil. Good lesson to know. All right, so you can see this is starting to boil. Look at the bright color of this. So this is coming to a good boil here. I'm going to pull this pot over here slightly so that it's a little bit centered. Now that this has come to a rapid boil, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. My broccoli is a really nice, bright color. It's vibrant. It's not going to get overcooked. Growing up, my mother was a good cook, but she was not a good vegetable cook. I did not like broccoli growing up. It was always overcooked. Surprisingly, the first time I had really well-cooked broccoli was in the dorm my first year as a freshman when I went to LSU. The broccoli was spectacular. Now, everything else wasn't great in the dorm cafeteria, but the broccoli was awesome. This is going to sit. I probably could pull some of this out. You can see here is a really nice piece of broccoli. It's bright in color. It's cooked. You go to a lot of restaurants now and they undercook the vegetables. So you don't want mushy vegetables, yes, but you don't want a vegetable that still tastes raw and is too hard. With something like this is tender. It's got good salt. It's really good. So boiled broccoli, Really simple, really good.
Mm.